Good old Youngstown. Oh boy. Another criminal. Another criminal in Youngstown. What are you going to do? Hey, another one's off the streets, right? I don't think he's my tenant. Thank goodness.
Bring me a dream. Make him the cutest that I've ever seen.
Okay, hi Mr. Leone. We're doing this 1031 exchange with two properties.
Yes, the 1031 exchange gives you the right, once you sell property, as long as you have not received the money, the cash money, you then have a right to use those funds if they're paid to an intermediary, which a qualified intermediary, which my company is. You have 6 months to reinvest it. You have 90 days to identify the property. And then that gain or tax that you may have to pay is delayed until you sell the next property. And you can do a 1031 on that too. But of course, you're at the whim of the law. But right now, it is a way to delay the tax.
Got it. So like you're a 1031 agent.
Right.
I didn't know that going to the title companies. I thought they would have one there, but they actually didn't. So you have to like find a 1031 agent.
Qualified intermediary, it's called
Right,
under the
right.
IRS.
So I learned that, and yeah. So I'm selling a property. You know, then I'm hiring you, and then I'm buying a property.
Then you're buying the property, and that delays the tax on the first property.
Right.
Okay. And
What's
then-
what's simpler? So if I'm selling a property, then buying a property, then if there's money's left over, I could either put that back into my account and then purchase this other property, or I could keep that in escrow and then you could put that towards that property. Is that right?
Yes, you can keep it in escrow as long as it's done within 180 days of the original sale. We give you a
Okay.
time limit, 180 days, 6 months.
Okay.
And you have to identify it within 90 days, and you can amend that. Say you find a property and it doesn't work out. You have to still have, you can amend that 90-day, but you do have to identify. And there's a form on the agreement that I've given you today. And you have to sign that, give that to this closing agent and say, wire the funds here, don't give them to me, because wire them to my intermediary. I don't want to be.
Yeah, don't send them
Because
to.
if they send it to you,
to
make a
us.
check payable to Heartland, then that's a taxable event, and you want to avoid that for now.
Can you walk me through this? What exactly is this agreement?
Well, all this is called is what the IRS has approved an assignment exchange agreement. It just says that you're selling the property, you're entering into an agreement with me to hold the money until you identify and buy a new property, and that the fiction is that we are buying it on your behalf. You're not receiving the money, and that you're doing this under this section 1.103K1 of the Internal Revenue Service regulations, and that you sold the property to, and that's in your purchase agreement, and that you're going to buy this property in the future, the identified property in the future, at 1933 South Heights.
Okay, got it. So it's kind of like
It's
Sort
a
of
way
like
to keep you investing in the property or the IRS without having to pay a gain every time you flip a property.
got it. Yeah, since these properties are kind of cheap, there isn't too much tax compared to bigger properties, but it's good to at least learn this process, 1031 process.
Sure.
Have you ever seen any like I guess issues or problems with these kind of exchanges?
Time limits are the only problem.
For someone to find a new property?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to do it within that time limit, or you got to pay the tax. You work with your accountant; they are familiar with the 1031 exchange. But whoever does your taxes then will have to. We'll see the agreement and say, oh, okay, you did 1031 exchange, and then they'll ask you for the documentation to show that you bought the property, to show that we send the money to them. for the 180 days or send it to you, whatever you want.
Okay.
You decide.
Yeah, because I have both of them at title, but I told them what I'm doing, so they're gonna stop. You know, they're not gonna.
Well, you can do it immediately.
any of the
Now
money.
you've done it. Now it's in place. All you have to do is
Wait for them to get to close up until the point of the payment.
money
Then-
is what again. The crucial point is you cannot receive the money. If you receive the money, then there's a taxable event.
Gotcha.
They should. And once you don't receive the money, then you've done the and it's $300 is the cost.
Okay.
500 generally, but
you want me to
said-
give this to her for a copy?
Yes, and the signed one too. There you are.
Right. So from this point, once Judson closes and the money.
When is that? What timetable you?
I brought it to them yesterday, so they said it'd be a week. So I'll bring that. You'll get that money. I'll show them this wire instructions. You'll be sent the money. Then I guess you'll probably give me a call and be like, hey, what's the deal with the South
What's
Heights
the
property?
one you're buying? And then
Right.
they'll call and say, hey, we need whatever the money is that you need. And then if I have it, I'll send what I have.